If you're afraid of a counterattack, you've already opened the door wide to a counterattack. That's just the bottom line. There's a lot of intercessors who are afraid of the counterattack, and so they open the door to it. There are others who won't even pray because they're afraid of the counterattack. There are then others who are oblivious to the reality that there are counterattacks and they're cavalier in the spirit and they go make big messes and find themselves in a bad place. So there's three different groups there. But when I teach intercessors, I teach them that they should expect a counterattack because when we're braced for something, it's not going to hit us as hard or as long. If I know that you're coming at me and I know you're about to attack me, I'm going to be braced for it. I'm going to have my defenses up. I'm going to be ready for that attack. But if I'm oblivious, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. If I'm oblivious to the reality of counterattacks, I'm not going to be ready. I'm going to get hit every time. And if I'm afraid that I'm going to get attacked, then I've already got an open door. But if I'm aware, that's why we don't want to. Uh, I like to make people aware that this is a possibility that the enemy is going to strike back. You see it all throughout the Bible. And so when we try to, tiptoe around the reality that if you're praying spiritual warfare prayers, then, and you're effective in your spiritual warfare prayer, then you're going to probably meet, number one, with resistance until the breakthrough. It's after the breakthrough that the counterattack comes. It's after you've made a significant dent in the kingdom of darkness that the counterattack comes. If your spiritual warfare prayers are not effective, you're not going to get much backlash. You're not going to get much counterattack because you're not doing anything that's gonna get the enemy's attention. Many Christians and even intercessors, they're just beating the air. They're just doing buckshot prayers. They're not effective, and the enemy's like, oh, let them keep wasting their breath. Let them keep spinning in circles. Let them think they're making a difference, and they'll keep doing that. They're not touching my kingdom. They're not binding me. They're not moving me. They're not stopping me. So let them keep going. I'm going to leave them alone. He's not going to attack them because they're not a threat. But if you're engaging in spiritual warfare prayer and you feel a breakthrough in your spirit, that's when you need to lift your shield up even higher. When you are engaged in spiritual warfare prayer and you see the fruit of your prayer, and then at that point, that's when you rally the troops and you don't rest and you go, that was a battle. Let's go to the beach. That's how so many people end up getting blindsided, because after the breakthrough comes is not the time to let your guard down. It's the time to keep it up. As a matter of fact, we should always have shields up. We should always have a hedge of protection. If you look at what's going on in Iran right now, I mean, we just bombed them. Pop, 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 pop. Israel did. And I guess they call it Israel, United States, you know, against Iran, but Israel did pop, 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 pop. Well, we're not, that was a victory. Taking out the Ayatollah in many eyes was a victory. It was the people in Iran who want freedom see that as a victory. So the United States now is not like, all right, it was good. All right, boys, you're on leave now. Take a vacation, take a break. No, the Pentagon is actually asking for $50 billion extension to the War Department so that we can be prepared for the counterattack. And because Iran has flat out said they're going to launch counterattacks. They've threatened to actually kill President Trump before that and now after. So if anything, after the breakthrough, you need to raise your walls up higher and pray it, what I call pray it through. Pray the breakthrough through. Don't pray until you get the breakthrough. Pray after to secure and maintain the breakthrough, because once you've established that breakthrough, it's kind of like someone who gets free from drugs. If someone gets free from the spirit of addiction, they get free from drugs. The first day they don't do drugs, they may have broken through, but if they don't continue to keep themselves away from influences, if they don't continue to do all the things they did to get free, they're not going to stay free. So if we lived a lifestyle where we were doing offensive warfare, I have a course, I haven't put it out yet, but you've taken it, Tian, at AHOP, preemptive warfare. I call strike first. And there's two sides to this. We want to live on offensive warfare. We want to be on the offense. If we're on the offense, we won't always have to be on the defense. But then there's a step further, a subset of offensive warfare, which is called preemptive warfare. And that's where we discern it before the devil even thinks about it. we already know what's coming. Or when he starts to plan, when he starts thinking about it, when he starts talking to the demonic networks about it, bam, we're already cued in because that's how dialed in we are. And we shut it down. We shut the weapon down before it can even prosper. So that was a long answer to counterattacks, but most intercessors fall in one of those three categories, and most intercessors are not living on the offense. They're living in reactionary defensive mode. Here's a problem, let's hit it. And that's not bad, but we need to all grow, myself included, to get to the point where we have a longer range view, and we're not just always trying to put out the fires, but we're actually trying to build the kingdom instead of just hold the fort. In every generation, God raises watchmen, those who see, warn, and weep. But where are the watchmen now? While the nations rage, many sleep. While evil advances, the church slumbers. But there's a remnant rising to the wall. They hear the sound of war in the spirit. They discern the enemy's plots. They cry out between the porch and the altar. These are the watchmen of the Lord. Awakening Prayer Hubs is mobilizing watchmen in over 120 nations, and we're just getting started. If you felt the burden, the urgency, the call to pray, then you might be a watchman. Join the global movement, launch a hub, stand on your wall, cry out for your city, and never come down. Join me today, awakeningprayerhubs.com.